Georgia Congressman Rich McCormick. He sits on the House Armed Services Committee and the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and you're the perfect person to react to these latest developments here. Iran seems to be operating on a completely different set of principles and goals than the United States. What do you make of the recent actions, the military action, and their claims of the memorandum that, as they understand it?
Well, I'm sure the president has more information than I do, and he has way more advisors with a lot of expertise. But I'm pretty frustrated, actually. I don't think you make peace with somebody who's not actively engaged in a war. We are right now basically working around a peace process that's not going anywhere. They haven't shown any good faith. They haven't allowed any kind of inspections or extraction of the enriched uranium. I don't think they're really working in good faith. These people don't want to lose power. I think they are waiting us out. They do realize we have an election coming up. They do realize that gas prices being elevated punishes our country and our citizens with inflation. I say we get it over with. I say we go in there, we go in hard, and we make them come to the table. They don't show any inclination to otherwise come to the table, and I think this is a kind of a soft sell. I'm not really in favor of it, but like I said, I support the president. I know he has way more information than I do, and he says that they're more reasonable, but I'm not seeing it on the ground.
I think this is the frustration that many Americans are feeling. Only one of two things can be true. Either we are negotiating with individuals that do not have control over the region, or the people that we're negotiating with are acting in bad faith. One of those two things has to be true, and at some point, don't we at least have to acknowledge which reality we're living in, Congressman?
That's exactly right. Anybody who's been to command and staff or war college and studies warfare realize that the longer you drag a war out, the less popular it will become. That's a truism. If you want to lose a war, go soft. Every time we have surge ops is when we did well in Afghanistan, Iraq, when we did well in Vietnam or Korea. You have to bring it with all your force. That's Clausewitzian warfare. It works. When the enemy realizes that they're overwhelmed, they will come to the table and they will negotiate, but not during a peace process where nobody's getting bombed. I know that sounds horrible, but this is the reality of war. People don't want to actually negotiate in good faith unless it's hard on them. We have to make it hard on them, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, you know, the Iranians understand us. We've educated a lot of Iranians. They understand the implications of midterms, which you also mentioned. So do you think that the American people and politicians on both sides of the aisle have the stomach to hold on to this until we actually accomplish the mission?
I think the sooner we get this over, the better. I think we'll negotiate from a much better place of strength once we actually go to war again and actually take out their grids. I know President Trump talked about bombing them back in the Stone Age. We don't need to talk about it. War is a horrible thing, but bring them to the table. And the best way to do that is to bring overwhelming force and make it miserable to the point where they have to come to the table. And we can save a lot of lives actually in the long term rather than drawing this out over months and years.
So, Congressman, to that point, right, it appears that you're saying, and what many people are saying, is that the time has come to end the talking of a ceasefire when the ceasefire is not holding, that the time has come for us to go on offensive when it is quite clear that the individuals on the other side have no respect for us having any type of diplomatic agreement.
That's what history has shown ourselves. I used to teach evolutionary warfare, and people don't negotiate for peace when they have relative peace. We have to make it hard on them. Now, I understand, once again, I'm not going to get ahead of the president or the secretary. I know they have a lot of information, but from my standpoint, they don't show good faith. We've been at this for weeks with negotiations with no real progress in my mind. I want to see them come to the table fast. I want to end this, get the gas prices back down. You saw UAE left OPEC. We're overproducing. We can bring gas prices way down. The economy would be booming. Right. That's good for everybody.
Congressman Rich McCormick, thank you so much, my friend. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Semper Fi.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.